Deborah had always been a seeker. Before Islam, her life felt like a patchwork of identities, yoga retreats, activism, long walks with too many podcasts. She grew up in a quiet Midlands town where faith was inherited, not explored. But Islam drew her in with its structure, its depth, its sense of community. It felt like finally arriving at a place she didn't know she'd been missing.
She converted in late spring, standing shyly at the back of the mosque in a pale blue hijab, tears in her eyes as she said her shahada. The women's community wrapped around her like a warm blanket. Sisters brought her samosas and gifts, WhatsApp groups buzzed with check-ins. They offered to help her learn to pray, to fast, to balance her new faith with the awkward questions from old friends. She felt safe even when she mispronounced Arabic words or forgot to bring socks to the masjid.
That's when she met Ghazala Din. Ghazala had a softness about her, warm, always smiling, the kind of woman who made you feel chosen just by speaking to you. She wore elegant, modest fashion, her nails neat, her hijab draped with effortless grace. She didn't preach, she just gently guided. When she introduced herself, she placed a hand lightly on Deborah's shoulder and said, "You remind me of myself when I was new. Lost but sincere. That's rare."
Deborah clung to her words like oxygen. Over the next few months, they grew closer. Ghazala sent her uplifting reminders, dropped off soup when Deborah had a cold, even offered to teach her tajweed. It was during one of these casual conversations after a halakha that she brought up the sisters' investment circle.
"It's nothing official," Ghazala said, sipping mint tea. "Just a halal way to help each other grow. No banks, no riba. Just property shares, retail units in Muslim-majority areas. My cousin's husband manages compliance, all Sharia compliant. I've helped a few reverts like you, just to get their footing, especially sisters on their own."
Deborah blinked. "I've never invested before." Ghazala smiled kindly. "But this is for us, for the ummah. No one's trying to make millions, just enough to breathe." It sounded more like charity than business, so Deborah handed over £3,000, everything she'd saved since moving out of her parents' home. She'd hoped to use it for a one-bedroom flat near her college. Ghazala hugged her and whispered, "May Allah multiply it for you."
Weeks passed. Deborah checked her messages, her heart skipping every time she saw Ghazala's name. At first, there were updates. "Things are in motion," she'd say. "Transfers take time." Then silence. Questions sent. Blue ticks. No reply. Deborah tried to stay calm. Maybe Ghazala was busy. Maybe something had gone wrong. After 6 weeks, she messaged again. "Just checking in. Should I expect anything this month?" She added a heart emoji, hoping to soften the ask.
No response. By the second month, she was desperate. She asked around quietly at the mosque, trying not to let panic creep into her voice. A sister named Sabina raised her eyebrows when she heard Ghazala's name. "Ghazala Din?" she said. "She's the one who scammed Aisha and Nassim, isn't she?"
Deborah froze. "Scammed?" Sabina hesitated, then pulled her aside. "Don't tell her I told you. But yes, that investment thing? She's been doing it for years. Preys on new sisters mostly. Makes it sound all halal and ethical, but no one's ever seen a return. Some gave thousands, no contracts. Just trust."
Deborah felt the world drop out from under her feet. She walked home in a daze, the traffic and footsteps muffled like she was underwater. Her flat looked different, colder somehow. The kitchen tiles too white, the kettle too loud. She stood at the sink and cried until the key went cold.
She didn't go to Friday prayers that week or the next. The WhatsApp messages piled up. "Missed you today, sis." But she didn't reply. What would she say? That she'd been tricked? That the woman she trusted most had vanished with her future? Humiliation isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. It's canceling plans because you can't afford them. It's saying, "Inshallah," when your colleagues ask about your move. It's scrolling through old voice notes and wondering how you could have been so naive.
Deborah began to doubt everything. Her decision to convert, her ability to trust, her worth as a Muslim woman in a community she no longer felt part of. The spiritual high of her shahada was gone, replaced by a dull ache and a growing silence. Still, part of her hoped that Ghazala might return, that it had been a mistake, that the promised halal returns, sisterhood, blessings, wasn't all a lie.
But Ghazala never replied. Later, Deborah learned she'd moved on to another masjid, another city, another set of vulnerable women. The scam had adapted, the name had changed, but the con was the same. Trust, faith, money. Deborah never saw her money again.
But in time, she returned to the masjid, quieter, warier, but still seeking. Some scars fade. Others become part of your skin. And sometimes survival means showing up anyway.